Yes, we are live. We are live. Good evening, all. Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you may be. Brenny K here, as always. And yeah, sorry, we're a bit late. Dermo's on his way, but we've got some wonderful guests today, and just to talk about the Champions League week in particular with our game yesterday with Olympiacos, and we have got Fear the Cannon, aka Dylan. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, Brenny. How's things?
Yeah, I cannot complain. You know what I mean? Just enjoying my 2 days off work. Well, this is the second one, and it's always nice
Yeah.
when you have a day off when you know you can just gear yourself up for an Arsenal game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful, you know what I mean? It's beautiful, but I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys, but I just find that it just the day just flies through. You know what I mean? It really does. But
Mm.
listen, man, always. I know you've been on before, and glad to see you on again. And for the first time ever, my guy, me and this gentleman here, we're always on the same wavelength
Yeah.
about how we feel about the club, and he's passionate. One of the most passionate Arsenal fans I know. Luke, welcome to the channel for the first time. It's good to see you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And yeah, well done to you setting up the channel. And yeah, very happy to be on it for the first time. First of many, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Thanks, man. No, because you know what, it's I was getting encouragement because I still do stuff with Bobby on the Armory,
Mm.
and I was getting the encouragement from other people like, oh, when you get start your channel, and I thought, yeah, it's got to be done. So I thought this this summer, yeah, on it, mate, on it. But gentlemen, thanks for joining. But before I know Derm will be here in a minute, but let's just go through the comments. We got geeks. Hello, Brent. Hello, panel, and hello, chat. Big up to geeks
Uh,
as always.
Yeah.
See,
Hello, Nick.
yeah, geeks. With Nick, he's our. I said to him the other day, he's our Kenny Ken, and what I mean by Kenny Ken is like, Kenny Ken is just an absolute legend, as you know. He's got
Mm.
he's got loads of followers. I know on Instagram. I don't think he's on X anymore, but but with Kenny, he doesn't have his own channel, and I think if that guy had his own channel, it I tell you what, I reckon he would probably get to 10,000 subscribers within 2-3 weeks. You know what I mean? Because I just love that guy's knowledge. And Nick, he is our Kenny Ken, but he did say he would get something set up pretty soon. And be up to Michael Harris as well. Hey, hi guys, hope everyone is well. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Man. Oh yeah, and that was me. But just to let everyone know in the chat about the late start. Yeah, so we shall begin with yesterday's game. I mean,
Mm.
Luke,
Mm.
I'll come to you first. Um, what was your take on the game? I mean, I didn't think it was a comfortable game, especially in
No.
that second half. But the second goal, as soon as Saka scored, it was a bit like pain relief. That's what I called it, and it was one of those games where did you feel the manager was right to rotate? What did you think of certain
Yeah.
performances? What's your take?
I thought it was the right game to make some changes. I would have maybe gone with Mascara over Sleeper just because Sleeper's still coming back from the injury.
Yeah,
Um, I was happy with the lineup, even though I picked a slightly different one. Um, I mean, we started off well, didn't we? And I just thought we was almost playing with fire a bit in that second half. We got sloppy, and perhaps we just didn't respect our opponents. But they had some chances, and
yeah,
I wasn't happy with that. But I was happy with the intent that we showed throughout the game.
mm,
You know, I because sometimes those kind of games, we go back into sort of I call it England mode where we just pass backwards and sideways all the time. And I try to limit watching England as much as possible to every 2 years because I find England playing football terrible, and I don't want Arsenal to do it either. So, but yeah, we didn't take our chances. We brought in Gyökeres obviously to come in, and he hasn't. He's done okay, but I actually thought Gyökeres' all-round game last night was his best performance.
Yeah,
but he didn't have the goal. He kind of snatched it. He lost his composure a bit. I thought couple of times. But he's playing. I think he's playing well. So I think the positives are that we are creating the chances. I'd rather have a game where we create the chances than some of the games that we've had over the last season, like specifically last season, where we sometimes we didn't look like we were scoring at all. So I was happy with that.
Yeah. Oh, fair dues, mate. Fair dues. Listen, before we just get to Dylan's take on yesterday, want to introduce the man, Dermotron in the house.
How are you,
And
Brenny?
I'll tell you what, please like, share, subscribe to THFC Till We Die. I mean, one of the best content creators out there, especially for the Spurs and for the neutral fan, because I find it's a very entertaining channel as well. Welcome, Dermot. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was just looking at the Champions League table. We're not doing too bad, sitting in ninth on equal points with Dortmund and Man City. Life is good. Yeah, I thought the Champions League as a whole was interesting this week. A lot of Liverpool are doing really badly, and you guys got a good result as well. I have to say, you played well the other night. I think Arteta, from my own view, got it right. I think he got his lineup spot on. I wish our manager would have done that, but that's when I talk about Tottenham. But no, I think it's been an interesting few days for the Champions League for English clubs. But I think Tottenham and Arsenal could be quite satisfied with their second match week doing the Champions League. But thanks for having me on, Brenny. Always a pleasure doing the stream with you, brother.
No, always, man. Always a pleasure, man. Pleasure. And just before we get to you with regards to your game from Tuesday night, Dylan, what was your take on yesterday's performance?
Really promising. There was always these things going on at the last little while, as like take the handbrake off. It seems like Arteta's kind of starting to listen a little bit. It's the first time I've seen since probably the start of the season that I've seen first time balls played in behind for Gyökeres. And even for Martinelli's first goal, like the power and the strength he has is next to none. The only thing I would have changed probably about the whole lineup was I think Trossard. Now I'm happy with the rotation. I'm happy he swapped players out because obviously, like, for how good we are, like we're playing nearly maximum number of games in a season. Maybe like if we get to a semi-finals or a final, or like it's the maximum games that can be played in a season. So it's good to get the rotation in now, and basically not running players into the ground. Like look what happened. Saka was run into the ground, and then he got a bad injury, and like that was a setback. But overall performance was very good. As Luke said, I probably would have played Mascara over Saliba. And I think we have to show a bit of appreciation for David Raya because he kept us in that game. Something shocking. The save he made when one of the Olympiacos players took a shot, and it was unbelievable. Not just like say because I'm an Arsenal fan. I think honestly he's up there with probably the best top three keeper in the world. Like he's unbelievable. He just seems to be getting better and better. I remember a couple of years ago when we had Leno, and I used to be so nervous, like when he's trying to play it from the back, and like now it doesn't even faze me. Like it's like, yeah, I know he's going to play it out perfect, he'll make a brilliant pass to get us up the pitch or whatever. But I just think the team is starting now to kind of feel a little bit free, and it was kind of like when Eze played the 10, like an older guy come off the bench, older guy took a little bit personal, and was like, right now it's my time to show who I am. Which is which is why he should be playing full stop anyway. But what I kind of noticed, I don't know if anyone else picked it up. It was kind of like he had like Marino and Zubimendi sitting, and like Odegaard was going like left to right, left to right, left to right. It wasn't, and like he did drop deep because that's what Odegaard does to pick the ball up. But it wasn't just on that right hand side consistently. He was on the left, he was in the middle, he was right, and that's the type of stuff attacking midfielder should be. And that was my thing. Like I thought we played well. It was a bit nervy near the end, obviously, because it was only 1-0 up. Excuse me. When Saka scored, then obviously the nerves settled a little bit, and we end up getting the 3 points.
Yeah. No,
So
that's right. I mean, Dylan, I thought I don't know what it was yesterday, but I thought that Odegaard was in the 8 yesterday, Marino was in the 10, or was it? Because in the second half, I couldn't really tell at times. I mean,
I get what you're saying. Sorry, go on ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I mean, look, because I'm sure it was Odegaard who looked more effective. He was playing in an 8 yesterday, wasn't he? And I think Marino was supposed to be the 10, but
right.
Yeah, Marino didn't. The game kind of passed him by, didn't it? But
yeah,
I was happy. I've been saying for a long time.
I love Marino. Marino's my favorite player.
I want us to free Martin Odegaard, right?
Yeah.
Free him from his having to be in his defensive responsibilities. Because the way I see football is that I want one player to have a bit of a free role, and I think that has to be your creative player, not the left back, which seems to be the Arteta's system. It seems like the left back can do whatever he likes. With Zinchenko, he was playing it anywhere he likes. Calafiori's like a wild horse out there, isn't he? But I think with MLS there, and MLS does roam a little bit into midfield, but you don't see MLS charging up on the right. Like I saw Calafiori do that the other week. I thought, what the hell is going on here?
He's playing right wing.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense to me, but there you go. So I was happy to see a more traditional setup, and Odegaard was freed from just being shoehorned on that right hand side. It's nice. Let him roam, let him attack from all areas. Give him a bit of a free role, as much as you can have a free role in the Arteta system. And I think he had one of his best games. He was, it was definitely the best game he had for a long time last night.
Yeah, it was. I agree with you. But before we go on to Dermot, just a couple of things in the chat from Nick. Like, going to be tough for Arsenal if we have 2 very tough home games. You see, exactly, against Atletico and Bayern. Tricky away ties too, and top 8, it may be tough. And that is why I was saying yesterday, I just did not want us to draw. If they'd have got that equaliser, I thought no. Because you don't want to be in a Champions League where you think, after 8 games, and it's the same for Dermot as well. You don't even thinking, last 16, got to play this 2-legged playoff. It's 2 games you don't want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when around them times you could be in a League Cup semi-final. Sorry, not a League Cup semi-final. It could even be an FA Cup, say. It would be for 5th round, getting in the way. You've got league games as well, and there's the possibility, I think, of the Carabao Cup, because last 16 games, if I'm not mistaken, they'd be played in February, I think. You know what I mean? So, Timber, Rice, they have been. I think Rice is looking more like himself. Gazubi, Gabby, Madueke, before the injury, done very well. Good signs from Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli. Squad depth, maybe Arsenal could weapon. Yeah, and I agree with that, because we've seen it all the time. Many times, whenever we've had big squads, where you see players coming in doing a job because they want to fight for that 11. But Dermot, what we'll do is we'll get to you, and well, I haven't. To be honest, I've been so busy. I've not not really seen a lot of football this week. I mean, obviously I saw a game yesterday, but I only today saw just small highlights of your game against Bodo Glimt, and I think it's their first time in the Champions League, and if I'm not mistaken, you played them in the semi-finals of the Europa League last season.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Well, what was your take on that away performance?
They battered us. I'm being honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not just because I'm here with 3 Arsenal fans that I'm gonna, or the bantering's going to start. They absolutely battered us. They should have won. They should have been 4-0 up by the second half. They missed the penalty in the first half, which I thought the penalty was a little bit harsh, to be fair. But look, it is what it is, and I think I don't know if the guys agree. VAR's run more efficiently in Europe than it is in the Premier League. It's a total joke in the Premier League.
I agree.
So look, they should have scored from the penalty. They had another chance as well before the end of the first half, which they should have buried. We was set up too defensively. We got creative players sitting on the bench. Brennan Johnson was doing nothing with Charleston. Somebody needs to check his birth certificate, see if he's really Brazilian, because I think they got him somewhere out of Alaska, and they felt sorry for him. They thought, "Hello, we'll make you a footballer." You know, he is brutal. I mean, I wouldn't even send him to Arsenal. I mean, I wouldn't even give him to you guys. Send him to Chelsea and West Ham. But he should have scored. Any striker worth his salt should have put that ball away after 17 minutes, and then the whole game changes on his head because you're 1-0 up. They've got to come out, attack you, leave spaces at the back. We were too defensive, and we just sat back, and they battered us. Then we went 2-0 down. Luckily, we got one goal back through Van der Ven, and then we were very lucky with the equaliser. I think it's 2 points dropped. I don't think it's a point game. I know Thomas Frank said about the fighting spirit, which I totally agree with, because under Ange Postecoglou, we would have lost that 4 or 5-0. So there is that fighting spirit within the team, but still, I think this game will be the difference between us qualifying in the top 8 or going into the playoffs. I think we're going to get playoff place now. I think the round of 6 qualifying automatically is gone, because we've got Monaco away next game, then Copenhagen at home. We've got PSG away, Dortmund at home, and Frankfurt away. So we really need results. From the PSG game, we need a result in PSG to have any chance of qualifying automatically. And we don't need the 2 extra games in January. You've got FA Cup games, you've got League Cup games, you've got league games. Yeah. So it's really but fair play to Bodo. Give them plenty of credit. They've done well against Prague, came back from 2-0 down to get back to 2-2, and they outplayed us. They're going to be tough. Anyone goes there, they're in for a game. They really are. I know it's the AstroTurf or it was the code. Bullshit. Excuse my language. We were rubbish. We were absolutely rubbish. And fair play to Bodo. Absolutely. Full credit to them.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I mean, just to summarize from that, do you think they're a better outfit than the one that you faced a few months ago? I mean, I don't know about their signings or their ins and outs, but
they're more. I think they said it before the game that they've bulked up. They said we were very physical, and they've gone away and bulked up themselves. If you look at the side that we played when we beat them 2-0 out there and 3-1 at our place, totally different outfit. But maybe it's the way we played as well. We were too defensive. Do you know, you start with Kudus and Simmons, let them do their magic, and then bring them up for the now gone. Do you know, I know we got Leeds away first game on Saturday, which I think the scheduling as well is ridiculous. We played the last game in the Premier League on Saturday at 8, and we're playing the first game in the Premier League on Saturday at 12:30. No disrespect, it wouldn't happen to Arsenal, wouldn't happen to Liverpool, and it wouldn't happen to Man City. But don't worry, lads, it's only Tottenham. We'll give them the first game. So the scheduling absolutely stinks to high heaven too. So look, but we're unbeaten. We're 9th. We're on the same points as Dortmund and Man City. anyone can be anyone in the Champions League, as we well know. And we could be worse. It could be like Liverpool sitting in the relegation bit without the goalkeeper. So, to me, it was painful, believe me, to do the watch along to that. It was painful. But look, if somebody said to me, you'll be 6th in the league, 1 defeat in your first 6 in the Premier League, and you're undefeated in the Champions League, sitting in 9th, joint 8th, joint 7th, I said I would have taken that. I would have bitten the hand off for that. So, yeah, that's my feelings on the game, Brendan. Sorry I went on a bit much, but
no. Listen, I'll tell you what. When you're on here, you know what? All of you, anyone who's on my channel, you can go on for 10 minutes. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. You know what I mean? So you lot can talk as long as you want. But before I ask Luke something, and then just got a question for the panel. What changes, if any, would you make for your next fixture? Well, before I say it, bearing in mind it's this fixture, then it's the international break. So, Luke, I'll start with you. What would you change would you make?
Timber would come in for Ben White. Declan Rice would come back into the team for Marino, and obviously Saka would come back in. And then you're looking at who you play on that left-hand side against West Ham. I would maybe go with Eze. I don't love him on the left, but I think because he didn't start, last night, he's going to be a bit more fresh, and perhaps we can he can go back into midfield, or he can come off for Trossard, who's good off the bench, isn't he, Trossard? So
yeah,
that would be the changes I'd make for the West Ham game. Then Zubimendi and Odegaard obviously start, and I don't know, does Calafiori come in for MLS? I don't mind so much really who plays there. I'd like to see MLS play a little bit more than what he has. But if he wants to go with Calafiori, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Because it's a 3:00 game, isn't it? Hour 1 against West Ham. So, and they've caused us some issues, haven't they, over the years? Occasionally at the Emirates, we've gone there and won.
Yeah.
A couple of big, couple of thrashings we've had. But did they beat us last year?
They did. They're looking for the hat trick.
Yeah.
Of away wins against us in a row.
Is it really? They won the season before as well.
Yeah, last season it was 1-0 at home, and then the season before we lost 2-0, and we absolutely bombarded them.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That was So come on, lads. Let's not lose to West Ham 3 times in a row at home. Come on, man.
Dylan, what about yourself?
I would make obviously bring Timber back in, start Saka. On the left, I think you'd have to play Martinelli. Just with the form he's scoring consistently now. But a change to the midfield, I would make a change to the midfield. People might not agree, but I would swap Rice. I'd put Rice in, take Zubimendi out, and play Eze and Odegaard as the 2 creative midfielders. And for the love of God, play the ball first time to Gyökeres in behind. I'm sick of screaming at the TV. It just play him in. It play to his strengths. Like the whole world can see it. Like when we were linked with him, like all we seen all over socials was compilations of him scoring goals. And if you look at the majority of them, it's him running in behind. We played him in the Champions League. He got the ball at the halfway line and took it by Saliba. And not many players can do that. But they're just not playing to his strengths. But that's a change I'd like to see. I'll probably bring in play Calafiori. I'd probably bring back in Calafiori. We don't know what way Gabriel is. I don't know if he got a knock or because he went off injured, didn't he? So, I'd probably play Mosquera because I wouldn't want to be risking Gabriel. Like it's it's such a good option to have, like, because when Scarra comes in there and he just looks like he was always part of the team, you know. But that's probably the changes I'd make. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I mean, I'll keep in mind the sake. But Dermot, what about yourself or your boys? What do you do?
Well, hopefully Romero will be back on Saturday instead of Danson, so that would be done. I don't see many changes. I think Simmons will start instead of Odegaard. I think also Kudus will start instead of Brendan Johnson. But apart from that, I can't see many changes because we haven't really got most of our players are injured, so I can't see many changes. One change I would make is in midfield. I bring Paulinho in, sit him deep with Bentancur, and have either Lucas Bergville in that 10 role or put Papasar in there. I think Bergville needs a rest. But that's the only changes I can make. There's not really many. Danso for me, I don't think he did great the other night. So yeah, not many changes. 3 at most.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would go with midfield as well. It'd be Rice. Then I'd have to go Odegaard in the 8, Eze in the 10, because Odegaard was man of match for me last night, in my opinion, and he needs to continue this form. I thought he was brilliant. Right? And then it'd be Saka. Saka I'd play on the left. I would bring. People probably laugh when I say this. I'll probably talk about this on the Armory tomorrow, but I'd actually start Max Dowman against West Ham. I would start him on the right, and Gyökeres up front. I mean, I like Max Dowman, and I think he'd be hungry. And then it's a back 4. I mean, Timber. You can't leave out the all-action man Timber because he's just on fire, that guy. And I thought Ben White did well. But I've always said, when it comes to White and Timber, it doesn't bother me who plays. But at this moment in time, I think Ben White is a level, but I think Timber is a couple of levels above. And then you've got Calafiori as well. I think he would win the street fight against Jared Bowen. I think he would win that street fight. Don't get me wrong. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly would do well against him, but I just think, to face someone like Jared Bowen, who it was a good goal he scored the other night as well. It's Calafiori. Yeah, it's a street fight when I look at that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that would be mine. Of course, Saliba and Gabriel, but. But yeah, it's got another question as well from Nick about what was your performance of the round? For me, PSG was notable. Atletico was scary. Respect to Bodo and Galatasaray. I mean, I know results. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen highlights of those games. But Luke, what was your performance of the round?
I mean, I haven't seen all the games. I did see Galatasaray against Liverpool, and I thought they were absolute value for that. I think they were really good. Made the most out of the atmosphere that their fans created, as they often do. It's a tough place to go, isn't it? That part of the world, and it's not just the atmosphere. It's the travel. It's you're sort of all of a sudden you're getting, especially in England, you're getting used to. In Ireland, you're getting used to basically winter coming soon, and all of a sudden you're flying out to Turkey. So it's a bit of that can cause issues in terms of people just not feeling great, and Liverpool Liverpool haven't been great, have they? But I just thought Galatasaray, well done to them. I haven't seen the Bodo performance. We went there a few years back, didn't we, in the Europa? And we didn't play that good either when we went there.
I think we beat them, but it wasn't a good performance.
I think we won 1-0, but it wasn't great. And at least you've got that. We don't play Bodo, but at least you've went there now, Dermot, instead of like November, December time.
Yeah.
Because that will be. It'd be interesting to see how they get on. I don't know their remaining home games, but yeah, you don't want to be going there at that time of year, especially if you need a result. Say you've got to go to Bodo in that last, that last fixture of this phase, and you need a result. I wouldn't want to be in that position.
No,
I'm glad we got them out of the way early. To be fair, I'm actually really glad we got, because that is going to be. It's a difficult place to go. It reminds me. Their ground reminds me of like a League One or a League Two ground. It's tight and it's compact and it's noisy. And we went there in the semi-final in the depth of their winter, and people were saying how cold it was over there. You're going to get a team going out there. Many of these players don't fancy it. We know we've got the winter coming in, and they're used to the winter in England and probably used to the winter in Europe. But you go there near the Antarctic, some of them players are not going to be up for that. And you really will be asking your questions. Get your dub. You want to go there with no result needed. Then it doesn't matter what happens. But yeah, whoever goes there last, God help them. That's all I'm going to say.
A bit. Yeah. So Dylan, question there from Nick. What was your performance?
Just what Dermot said. Like, could you imagine like a Real Madrid, like going there in the depths of winter? Them always used to play in the heat, and then have to go up there and play in like -5 degrees, like weather, like it'd be mental for them. But performance
to go away, see how they get up there, Dylan. Send them to go away in the depth of winter, see how they get on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd have to say probably Bodo Glimt did really well against a mid Premiership side team. Getting a draw, was good for them. But
We're off now.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I haven't really seen that. No, I haven't really seen much of the games. I didn't even see the Tottenham game. I seen highlights of the PSG Barca game. I tell you one thing, Barcelona, if we played them and they played a high line that they normally do, we'd absolutely destroy them. We would destroy them. They were leaving like it's so mad football. But yeah, I haven't seen that, so I'm going to give it to Arsenal. Arsenal was the performance of the week, because obviously we're the best team in Europe. I'll say it with chest.
Oh, Dermot, what was your performance of the round?
I don't know if I can actually match that. Hang on, was it Arsenal? No. Anyway, we'll move on. I would have to give it to probably Galatasaray. I thought they were fantastic against Liverpool. I saw the highlights. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Difficult place to go. I thought Bayern Munich played well as well this week as well. I thought they're my tip for the Champions League, by the way. But yeah, and also PSG. They're the best team in Europe right now. They really are the best team in Europe. But yeah, it would have to be Galatasaray for me for my team of the week, because I thought to beat a Liverpool side that's supposed to be the best in one of the best teams in the world right now, and to do it like they did, that is, that shows they're a good side, Galatasaray, especially at home. It's very difficult to go and get a result there.
Yeah,
very difficult. We played there last season, and it's just most of our players froze because the atmosphere is so intimidating. But yeah, and also Barcelona, Dylan's right. They are so open at the back. It's like watching Ange football times 10. It's brutal. It really is, but it's lovely to watch. I have to say, I love watching Barcelona. Their matches ain't boring. But yeah, Galatasaray for me, Brenny. Team of the week for me.
Okay. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I thought the game of the week would have before the fixtures when I looked at it was Barcelona versus PSG, because I think PSG they won in the Nou Camp, didn't they? So that would have been. I mean, I haven't seen highlights of that, but what Barcelona high line? Oh, I wouldn't mind me some of that. I tell you, to come up against a high line, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's I was going to say, oh, for me, I actually saw the first half of the Galatasaray Liverpool game, and then I saw a little bit the second half. But from what I saw, Galatasaray were hungry; they wanted it more. That's what I saw. And like you say, it's never an easy place to go, Galatasaray. I would love for us to even face. Are we facing Galatasaray in one of the 8 games? I mean, sorry, in the next 6 games, because I don't think we've played them since we lost that UEFA Cup final. Am I mistaken, lads? Because that UEFA Cup final losing all them years ago.
We must have played them at some point.
No, our next games. Well, we played them in Champions League a couple of years ago. Aaron Ramsey scored the goal from about 40 yards.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's right. It was a few years back. Yeah, we did play them. Yeah, and we did beat them as well. Oh, some sort of revenge, I suppose. But there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Neil Timber's proven he is our number 1 right back. Yeah, Timber for me is just one of the best right backs around right now. So why exactly in answer to what you were talking about earlier on? Why play Trossard? Play Gyökeres, yeah. Same. And I feel for Trossard because not Trossard, sorry, Gyökeres, because when you watch him off the ball, he makes some really good runs. But there was a I think it was in the first half yesterday where Martinelli had the chance to square to Gyökeres, and there was also something where I think it was Gyökeres could have squared to Martinelli, but you know what? Those guys, they will at some point click. I feel they will. We've got AFC always in the building. When he came panel, big up. And big up to yourself, my friend. Hope everything's all good. Yep. Mikel Bundy has destroyed Ben White, played for 3 months when he needed knee surgery, and the guy can barely keep up pace. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna hide from that fact, because he has done that with a few players, and I just hope now he's learnt that lesson. But I will say, Luke, I've got to talk about one of those players actually, who last season it was a case of, was he injured? Is he not injured? Why is he always playing the ball sideways? Why is he always playing the ball back to Timber? Why is he always playing the ball back to Saliba, Gabriel, Martin Odegaard? Now, that performance of his yesterday, I know it was against Olympiacos, and you can only play well against, whoever you're playing against. You can only do your best. That was one of the best games I've seen Odegaard play in quite some time. And he looks better in an 8, just like he did against Newcastle. And, do you feel this performance yesterday, one of the main reasons for this performance is because either he's fully fit, or do you think it's because he's got competition for places now? What's your opinion on Martin Odegaard, and what do you rate his performance last night?
I think it's a combination of those things. I think definitely he was playing hurt, I thought, all of last year. Also, we haven't had a proper centre forward since Aubameyang. So to have someone that you can actually put through balls through, because no one's making those runs. Havertz didn't make those runs. Lacazette wasn't making those runs. He was just burnt out, but in the end. And, Jesus likes to come to the ball. He doesn't make the traditional centre forward run. So I just think, I always said with Martin Odegaard that the true test with him will be when we actually get someone who can score. Now he's got Gyökeres has scored obviously 3 goals so far, and his goal scoring record at Sporting is there for everyone to see. So if he can get into that sort of form, I'd expect Odegaard to have special season because he's got someone finally that can play that traditional role. Now, he also needs to, when Saka plays as well, we need to not just play everything on that right hand side. Don't go back to just doing that. And for sure, I think if you're Martin Odegaard, you're looking over your shoulder because you've got Eze now, you've got Nwaneri, and in a few years' time, you've got Max Dowman. So he knows he has to perform. Yes, he's the captain and everything. And as much as Arteta sometimes has these kind of stepsons, as I call them, Eddie was his stepson for a while. He will eventually be ruthless. Like he's ruthless with some people and not so much with others at times. But he will eventually be ruthless if you're not performing. So I'm hopeful that we've got that we won't see what we did last year, and hopefully, Martin Odegaard will have a much better season. I mean, he can't be much worse than what he did last year because last year was tragic.
He was awful. Yeah, he was. He was awful, no doubt about that. And I like the term you used with regards to stepsons because I heard a rumor that in the summer that Arteta took Mikel Merino, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli out to watch that Fantastic Four movie. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope they enjoyed it because I enjoyed it, and I hope the popcorn was good too. But yeah, Dylan, what's your take on Martin Odegaard?
Sorry. But did you think they were sharing popcorn?
Well, I'll tell you what, if it weren't Buttergist, shame on our better.
I think Dylan's upset that Arteta never asked him to come along. Him and Luke looking at me. Where's our invitation, Mikel Arteta? Come on, you could have brought us.
Yeah, I like a good movie. Odegaard. As Luke said last season, you're kind of saying like the way the whole season played out, you were kind of saying, right, I think he needs to go in the summer because that's how underwhelming he was performance-wise. We brought in Eze. Eze's going to really challenge him for that creative midfielder spot. Eze had a brilliant game when we played Forest, and then when we played Eze, then obviously in the free role, who was it we were playing? I forget now, but as I said earlier, it's like Odegaard took it kind of personal. Like it was like I need to show why I'm here and why I'm the captain. And it was like last night, as you said, I know it was Olympiacos, but they're still a hard team to beat. Like you can only beat the team that's in front of you. But I think he was absolutely world class. And it's the Odegaard that you would have seen clips of when he was really young, like, breaking through at Madrid and stuff like that. And like he has the stuff in his locker to do it, but is it coming down to him being told not to do it? I'm expecting, like as Luke said about we have an elite goal scorer now in Gyökeres. I'm expecting Odegaard to finish the season on 15 to 18 assists this season, because even if he has to be the player that grabs the game, but a scruff neck and say, right, this is what I'm doing. Like me personally, years ago when Kevin De Bruyne was in his prime, I was like crazy because he just pull out a pass out of nothing. It'd be just grab it from thin air, and one of the best passes you'd ever see. And Odegaard needs to kind of step that up now, because if not, Eze is going to take over. I know there's people out there that already want Eze in instead of Odegaard, but as Luke said, he's not gonna get rid of his stepson out of the team, so he'll be here till he's gone, Yeah.
No, I 100% agree, and like you guys said, I just think that'd be so wrong if we've got an out of form Odegaard and he keeps starting week in week out this season. I'm not gonna be happy with that. You know what I mean? Because regardless of him being the captain, because I've seen captains at Arsenal get dropped before. I've seen Kenny Sansom get dropped, and I've seen him lose the captain's armband to Tony Adams. So captains do get dropped. You know what I mean?
Would you keep him as captain, Bernie?
Who? Martin Odegaard?
Yeah.
Oh no. I'd give it to Declan
Who would
Rice
you
or
give it to?
Gabriel. Give it to Declan Rice or Gabriel. Either one of the two I'd be happy with. And they're very commanding players who never shut up. And that's what I like. A captain for me never shuts up. He's very vocal.
I think it should be Rice. I don't think Gabriel would suit being captain, in my opinion.
Who?
I think
who
because
yours?
Rice, Declan Rice would be mine.
Definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to Gabriel. I think he's too vocal and very hot-headed at times.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that. I mean, I thought he was going to be honest, he was lucky to be stay on the pitch on Sunday, but that's another story. If you know what I mean, but Dermot, I mean, we're talking Martin Odegaard, okay, and I'm not going to ask your take on him, but because
I would like to have a take in it if it's okay. I would like to have
if you can, I'll tell you what. You can give your take on Odegaard, and then I'm going to ask you about another player.
Yeah, look, for me, I think it's criminal you're not playing SA in that role. It's absolutely criminal. Odegaard, for me, is not good enough to be in that role for Arsenal. He's not good enough to be captain. I'll give the captaincy to the traitor. I refuse to mention his name since he left us to go and join the lads across the water to easily qualify for a World Cup because he thought the grass was greener. So I refuse to say his name. Have done since he's done it.
He's talking about Pat Jennings. He's talking about Pat Jennings.
No, the one that plays in your midfield.
Oh, him.
You have it with your curry.
Oh,
you have it with chicken.
Yeah. That curry. Yeah. Zubimendi and Rice.
Yeah, that's it. Second fella. I think he should be a captain. I agree with Dylan. Gabriel, for me, I think Gabriel, they're both vocal, but I think Gabriel wouldn't be as effective as a captain than the other one. I really do feel that. And especially being a captain in midfield, you need to be vocal. You need to be commanding in your role. You need to be domineering to your fellow midfielders to where to go, what to do. You got to have eyes in your back of your head as well as looking forward. It's criminal you're not using Eze as you are. Yeah. It really is. Eze could be the piece that could win you the league. And I don't understand why he's not playing him. Why he keeps playing with Odegaard. It keeps persisting with Odegaard. I think Odegaard time is gone. It's come and gone now. You need to put Eze in there, let the future go. And if he's not sold by the summer, if Arteta doesn't sell him in the summer, I'd be very surprised. Because I just feel that there's 2 or 3 players in that Arsenal side he keeps persisting with. And he's got a hold over them all. They've got a hold over Arteta. And he needs to shake that. He needs to be fit in that dressing room. He's too light. If you look at Mourinho or Conte, when they walk into a dressing room, players are fearful of their manager.
Yeah.
You know, there's no bondies or there's no handshakes, and you saw what he was like in the documentary. I mean, I don't know what Dylan and Luke's thoughts on that was. I say you lads were cringing in your seats watching
I
what
loved
he was getting up to.
That was brilliant. Yeah.
See, you thought it was great him standing with the light bulb going. This is what we have.
I didn't know Thomas Edison created the light bulb.
I did find it funny.
I didn't know Thomas Edison created the light bulb. It was very educational.
No, neither did I, actually. I didn't know. I didn't know Liverpool Arsenal's favourite song was "You Never Walk Alone." I mean, that was news to me. Like.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but guys, look from a Tottenham point of view, right? You're our biggest rivals, right? North London rivals. But I think Odegaard. I think I'm going to say his name. I'm going to have to wash my mouth up with soap and water afterwards. Declan Rice, Eze, Gabriel, I think Timber as well will walk into any Tottenham side. I really do. I really do. I quite like Timber, actually. I would love him at Tottenham. I really would love Timber at Tottenham. Odegaard, he has to be sold this summer. If he's not sold, I'll be very surprised.
If you know what, if say for example Arteta resigned or was sacked this season or even in the summer, I reckon whatever manager comes in, I think Odegaard would. I don't think he'd be the captain of the club, in my opinion. And I don't. And it all depends on this season. This is a big season for me. He has to deliver. It's like you know, we just spoke a little earlier about it, and even we all admitted that last season it was awful. It was poor. You know, it really was. But there is one thing I will ask of all three of you as well, and this is a that I do like, and I did want him at Arsenal a few seasons ago, but he ended up going down the line. Is a certain James Maddison. Dermo, how much of a miss is he to you?
He's a massive miss. He really is a massive miss. The sooner he's back, the better. I don't think we'll see him this season. I think he won't see him again to next season. Kulu is a miss as well, by the way. Kulu can play in that team. He's a massive miss as well. Now, he should be back now October and November time, which I'm so looking forward to getting him back into the team. But James Maddison is such a miss. And I feel so sorry for him, especially being a World Cup year as well. And I think he would have got into the England squad to qualify to go to the World Cup. But he's a massive miss. He's a player that can create something out of nothing. He gives you that bit of magic. And as much as I think Simmons is a great player, Kolo will be a good player for us, and Kudos as well. We need Madders in that midfield just to link everything up. And if you can, once he plays in there, you've got Simmons one side, Kudos on the other, a decent striker up front, Solanke, who is all right, but we need a better striker than Solanke, to be fair. But if you had the Harry Kane up front, I think that forward four players would fear every Premier League defence in the country. I really do. I think that would be a better midfield four than what you guys have. I like Saka. I think Saka's a good one. I think Kudos and Saka is very even. I really do think. I think Kudos got a bit more skill than Saka, but for pace, Saka's slightly ahead of him. I feel for strikers, I think Gyökeres for you will come good. I think give him time, he will become a really good player for you guys. We need a decent striker. We need a left winger, but Simmons, once he settles, I think will be really good. And then Maddison will link it all up. So yeah, he's a massive miss, Brenny. Absolutely. We're really struggling to create any chances. And that's why own goals is probably our biggest scoring threat this season so far. Have to say fair play to the own goals. Yeah, they're great. I mean, I buy my pint if I see him next. I mean, how the hell we're the third highest goal scorers in the league? God only knows. I don't understand that. I read that stat the other day. I think, are you sure the Premier League got that right? So yeah, own goals does help. But yeah, man, this is a massive miss. Can't wait to see him back. But he's back in training. He's back in the gym. So he's getting there. He's now. I just hope he comes back the same player.
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance he could come back a very different player to the one we had.
Yeah, no, fair play. Before I go into the chat as well, I'll ask you two as well, because I've always rated him. I've rated James Maddison, and would you two a few seasons ago, despite his injury record, would you have taken him at Arsenal at the time? Luke, would you have taken Maddison at the time when we was linked with him?
I would have done, yeah. I think it was that it looked like he was staying at Real Madrid, and I was saying, well, just go get James Maddison. Like he's. I thought he was more suited to like what I wanted to see out of a player. You know, he creates and scores goals. You know, I like players that create and score goals. So and he's one of them.
Yeah.
And when we did sign Odegaard, I was like, well, sign Maddison as well. You know, just have a different. You know, we had Partey at the time. You know, I am like what you was saying about having Rice as the holding midfielder and playing as a and no, you don't want to see Zubimendi, Merino, and Rice all in the midfield because there's no creativity there. So
yeah,
I want more players that can play football in my teams because we've got a good defence, I think. And so for James Maddison, it's brutal for him, especially in that World Cup year. Although I would argue that not playing for England is actually a good thing. Because a better time rehabbing, I think. And Kudus, I love Kudus. Yeah. Our good friend Tony Brenny wasn't so I think keen on him when West Ham signed him, and I think we was like, this guy's like. I watched him at the World Cup. I saw him play in 3 different positions, and he was man of the match in all 3 games.
Yeah,
or in my opinion, he was. So yeah,
he's quality. It is a shame. He's absolute quality. I mean, I've got one of my West Ham mates. He even felt they didn't even need to sell him. You know what I mean? And he didn't want to sell. He didn't want to see him go. But I suppose it is what it is. But yeah. So Dylan, what's your? Did he want it to come else?
I did when he was at Leicester, but it was around the same time we were linked to or we were in for Buendia. Right. We missed out on Buendia and we actually ended up getting Odegaard, which was obviously the better option. What he does for Tottenham, I think, is what Tottenham really lack. I know you have Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons is like a attacking midfielder, but he drifts left, so he wouldn't be more centrally like what Maddison would be. I think he should take a miss on the World Cup. I think he should just get back to himself.
Yeah,
might benefit Tottenham in the long run. Obviously, like as Tottenham rivals, he doesn't come back to himself because obviously they don't want Tottenham playing well. But as a person, obviously, like he has to. I think he needs that time to come back. Like it's a bad injury he had as well. Like he does need that time to get back to himself, like and build himself up. Like it's like, but I do think Tottenham's missing him at this moment.
As silly as this sounds, the injury to Maddison, as traumatic and as upsetting it was for him, was probably a blessing in disguise in a little way, because we wouldn't have got the players who we got in at the end of that window. So, as horrible as it sounds, I think Maddison is the key. He's the key to start, and Dylan's right and Luke's right. Maddison is the key to creating a lot of our attacking football. But I just want to ask you guys: would you take Kudus and Simon in your side? Would they improve any of the front wheel players that you've got?
I take Simmons.
Yeah.
I would. I take him over. Trossard or Martinelli.
Yeah.
Either or Marino. So if you ever want all 3, I'll set up a GoFundMe to get Marino, Trossard, and Martinelli.
That's okay. We can give them to West Ham. I think as both North London club, we should do more for that little club in West London and just give them a few players we don't want. Just throw them. They've gone from Harry Potter to a new No Garden Gnome. So they're doing well down there. Playing their bubbles.
100%. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm just going through some great stuff here that Nick's put in. It's so true. And yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing that as well. You know what I mean? I see that. Yeah, Yopa is looking full of play. Time is fun. Exactly. This needs to transition him automatically, making his front, knowing the ball is coming. As the chemistry improves, Yopa is will score more. Yeah, I still think he will. I know they're all on his case at the moment, but the media, as they
he needs a goal, O'Brien. He needs a goal. He need like
Yeah.
sooner rather than later. He needs.
I would be surprised if he gets a couple this Saturday. You know, Italy, yeah.
It just depends on how it sets up.
That's right. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, please subscribe to these great and all their channels, please indeed. Please indeed. You know what I mean? So yeah, sorry, you probably saw me. Herbert probably knew what I was on about, where I just put my arms up in the air because Celtic could concede the second goal against Prague.
This nightmare ever end for us.
This is poor. They even had I didn't have a goal this set. I thought, okay, I just put my eyes on the set for a few seconds. I saw 1-0. Like, okay, go back in the game. So, to you guys, and then about 10 minutes later, I see, oh, it's 1-0, but the goal was chalked off. I don't know what.
Anyway, it could be worse. We're not Rangers, to be fair.
Well,
could be a hell of a lot worse.
Very true, very true.
There is one question. I'd love what you guys would think. We got Mikey Moore there on line.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Before we go on, what's that? It sounds like a distortion. Oh, it's gone now.
That's my mic. That's my microphone. That's.
Yeah, go on, Dermot. Go on. I can hear you.
I don't know what you guys think. I want Mikey Moore to come back to Tottenham. I don't want him in that toxic environment. I don't think it's doing any good for him. So my question to the panel is, when it comes to you, how important is it finding a club for our younger players, especially younger ones at Arsenal and at Tottenham? If you say you had a player at Rangers, would you be asking your club to bring him back out of that toxic environment? And the second part to it, does it hinder or does it help the player mature in the long run?
You guys first.
Well, I think I would like Arsenal to do what some of the other clubs have been doing, like City and Chelsea, like have that multi-club model, because then you don't have to do that, because that's always the issue when you loan players out, and you see quite often some of the top clubs now prefer to keep their top prospects within the club, even though they're not Arsenal over the years. You send them away somewhere. The manager says, "Yep, this player will have a good chance starting for us." Manager gets sacked. New manager comes in, doesn't rate him, doesn't want him, not interested, and he doesn't play. So then he's not developing. As for like toxic environments and stuff, I think sometimes that can be, it can be, make a man of you, can't it? So I'm not, as long as he's playing, you've just got to deal with it, because that can happen. If he comes back to Tottenham or wherever he goes after, if he leaves Tottenham, that could be, it could be a benefit for him. But as long as he's playing, if he's not playing, then he can then become part of that. He can become toxic himself because he's not playing. Yeah,
he's on the bench tonight, I think.
Right.
But what's happening up there, it's shocking anyway. And as a Tottenham fan, I just want to bring him back, take him out of that environment, because I don't think he's a young. It's the first time he's been away from home like this, and I'd rather have gone to Celtic than Rangers, and that's just me personally.
I mean,
I think he would have been treated better at Celtic.
Yeah. I mean, how old is he? You say what's he about? 18?
He's 18 now, yeah.
18. I say, well, I mean, for me, it's if he's playing regularly in that sort of environment, I think he'd be all right as long as he's in the starting 11. But I suppose if he's not starting, and like you say, with how things are up there, but then again, he's not. I would probably say, yeah, come back, because he's not down the road. it's not as if he's at Charlton Athletic.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean? So in that respect, I mean, and plus, I suppose his family would worry about him as well. All that's been going on up there, and you know, the fact that where Rangers are, it's not off. Well, obviously different if they're in the top 2, top 3, but I do. I look at. I mean, I don't disagree with either one of your opinions, because I mean I'd look at him both ways. Well, because Luke said if he's playing regularly, then you know, and as long as he's okay. But also, would you have him in your squad if he was to return there? Or do you feel he's ready for the first team?
Oh hell yeah, he's ready for the first team. I mean, he got a few games on the range last season. I think he's such a talent that he should have stayed at Tottenham, and Thomas Frank should have used him more within the first team, because he could have given us something on that left hand side, give us a little bit more of an option, because Matthias Tell or Oba are not doing it for it there, are not doing it there. So I think Mikey Moore would have been a great option for us. But I just think, you know, what's happening at Rangers is ridiculous. It's a club shooting itself in the foot.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, and I think it doesn't do Scottish football any good whatsoever if one of their big clubs is actually acting like a circus.
Yeah.
I mean, the manager. If I was a Rangers fan, and I know a few, and I know Bobby's a big Rangers fan, even he wants the manager sacked.
Yeah.
And why it hasn't been done, I just don't know. But I just want Mikey Moore out of there, and come back to Spurs, and loan him out to a lower Premier League side. Let him get used to the Premier League.
Yeah,
the Scottish League is totally different from the Premier League. That's what I've done, but I'm not the manager, so Thomas Frank didn't fancy him. I take it.
Yeah. Well, nice. You see, like you. And I know Luke is as well. And from an Arsenal perspective, when it comes to youngsters, we love our academy players. I mean, a lot of our academy players, like yours, over the decades, are legends. And for me, it's always I'm always looking at academy, and there's always, I find that every decade there's always a few gems. But the question is, I think it always depends on the manager, and will he give those youngsters a chance, and also and on that, I think we spoke about him already, but Max Dowman, Luke, what's your take on Max Dowman? Because I like this kid. Hell, I'll even start him on Saturday, and I'm surprised. I wanted to see him break the record 2 weeks ago at Bilbao. When the game, we were comfortable. As soon as we got our second goal, I thought we was comfortable. I thought, bring him on, give him a few minutes, give him that experience. He didn't come on. I didn't expect to see him last night with regards to a very edgy on his second half performance before the second goal went in. But what do you think of Max Dowman?
I think Max Dowman is... Look, it's different nowadays because we see these players sometimes so young. But Max Dowman, like from an English point of view, looks like the best talent we've had. I would say he could be as good as Paul Gascoigne, Wayne Rooney. He might even surpass them if he can keep his head on his shoulders and be a good pro when he gets to that age. And it's just I remember seeing Sergio Aguero when he was 15 playing for Independiente.
Yeah.
And he was 15 playing. He was playing every week as a centre forward in the Argentinian league. And I thought, this is amazing that he's playing so young. With Max Dowman, I probably wouldn't be starting him if I can help it, because I'd like him to be. I know he's not. he's not really a child, I suppose, because he's almost 60. He'll be 16 soon, and he probably thinks of himself as a young man now, anyway. But I just, as long as he's physically okay, you know, then he can play minutes. I starting him, I'm not sure I would start him, to be honest, this season in any of the games. I think coming on when we're 2 or 3-0 up is okay. Yeah, at the weekends. And then next season, obviously, he could play a much bigger role. But he's definitely. When I saw him the first time I saw him for the academy team, I was thinking, great talent, but he needs to pass more. So he's teammates. I think at that level, he just sort of he knows he can just go past everyone, so he does. But
Yeah,
I've liked, and also I thought he was a little petulant at times with the ref wanting free kicks all the time. He's definitely not acting like that in the men's game, which I'm glad to see, because I was a bit concerned. Has he got the head for it? You know, even though he was so young. So he's definitely he can be as good as he wants to be.
Yeah. No, I hear that, and I do get it. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see him start against West Ham on Saturday. I don't think we will, but I just feel that he can start some games, but I wouldn't burn the kid out. You know what I mean? But I mean, Dermot. I mean, have you seen any glimpses of Max Dowman? I mean, he played against you. Played against you in the pre-season. The pre-season not friendly. So
the one we beat you when your keeper was beaten from the halfway line.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to find.
I noticed Brenny's looking around for the ball. Where did that ball drop? Did it drop in the goal?
No. I'm looking around for the trophy that you won. Here you go. This was when you beat us. You know, it's a. See, I haven't got a PlayStation 5 yet. I'm well behind. PlayStation 4 trophy.
Yeah, can I just say, this is a trophy you won last year. There you go. There's your trophy you won last year for finishing second in the league again. So
you drank the contents. Oh, come on! You drank the contents.
I wasn't going to give you a full bottle of content. What do you think I am?
Is that even Coke Zero?
Yeah, don't tell anyone. I'm not supposed to be drinking Coke. Don't tell anyone.
Okay.
No, I like him. I think he's a talent. He's the best talent I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah.
I do feel that you have to use him right. You have to give him enough game time, but not overuse him. Yeah. I think Arteta's getting it spot on, actually, how he's doing it, to be fair to him. But he's going to be a right talent. He will be very, very. I'm going to look forward to seeing his development as a football fan. Yeah. But put my side, my Tottenham allegiance and the North London rivalry. I'm going to so look forward to see what he does. But my fear is he's going to become too quickly too big at Arsenal. And once he gets going, bigger clubs are going to come into him. He's got an option to make. Do I stay at the club that made me and win things with Arsenal, do a Harry Kane, and then move on later in my career? Or will his head be turned with all the big clubs' attentions, like the Barcelonas, Real Madrid's, Bayern Munich, PSG? And I think if he was to go now, it would be a massive mistake. I think he needs to stay at Arsenal, learn his craft, play in the Arsenal side for a good few years, and then maybe when he's won enough runners-up medals, then move on to his. I don't know how Brenny's keeping the straight face here. Move on, but yeah, he's a talent and a half. You're very lucky to have him, lads. Very lucky. Yeah. Look after him.
Yeah, we are, and I'm keeping a straight face because it gets me on to a question I'm going to ask both of you. I'm going to start with Luke. You see, for me, it's when look, we're all around, we're pretty around close to the same age anyhow. And well, I don't know if that's true because 9 years from now I'll be 60. But there you go. But but
You'd
from
look a
years
day over
ago.
21, Brenny.
Oh well, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I
But
mean, I'm 2 years off being 50.
oh wow! I have to come over for your 50th birthday, mate.
Yeah, you
You know what I
really
mean?
have to, Brenny. Yeah, you do.
That'd be great.
And Luke as
It'd be
well. Luke,
great.
you'll come over as well. You'll go and
Yeah.
Dublin for a big piss up.
because like I said, I've got before I go, I have family in Dublin, so and I was there last year for my cousin's 30th birthday. It was a great night. But then I'd love to go. I want to go there next year with the missus for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Love to experience that, and that'd be something else. That'd be good. But yeah. So basically, Luke, when it comes to academy players, why is it that ever from when we were young, if you played for any side, not just Arsenal, you get those players who were committed to that one club? Why does that not happen anymore? And the reason why I'm asking this question is basically because what Durham said with regards to Max Dowman, because it could be a thing where 5-6 years from now he could go on to another club. So is it something that you'd want to see again? Because I would certainly want to see again where we've got players that are of top quality and we want them to stay at Arsenal for life. What's your opinion on that? Luke?
You're on mute, mate.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I would say, I was just saying, I can understand players want, maybe they just they want to experience a different country and that, all that sort of stuff. And but what I couldn't accept over the like the last 20 years was seeing some of our academy players join other teams in England. That I was like, nah, come on, like Ashley Cole when he joined Chelsea, I was like, how?
Yeah,
I don't know. To me, it's I can understand. He was pissed off at that time about the contract and everything, but still, you didn't get to see that. Like I know Gerrard was close to joining Chelsea. He ended up staying in the end, but maybe it's different generations. I don't know. Like maybe they're not built that way. A lot of them, but for me, it's if you can stay at one club and be a legend, especially for the academy players, as much as I'm sure Bayern Munich fans love Harry Kane, but he won't be loved like he was at Tottenham.
No.
Saka won't be loved by Real Madrid or Barcelona fans like he is by Arsenal fans. There is something special about an academy player coming through and staying at the club for a long time. And I understand it as well from the player's point of view in terms of, well, clubs aren't loyal either with players. But, as soon as you're deemed not productive, that's it, you're out the door. So certain players might have that sort of attitude in terms of, well, I'm just going to play for me. A lot of the time, we just presume that they love the club like we do. But we have to remember as well that some of these guys, they play football because they're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play for the love of the game like perhaps we would. They're not. Some of them aren't like us. So it's just. I think Saka's one of those where I think he does have that genuine love for Arsenal. I think Saliba has that, even though he obviously grew up in France.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully Max Dowman has that connection with Arsenal. I don't know if he does or not. I know he's from Chelmsford, which isn't far from me. But we know that Nwaneri and MLS seem like that. I think, funny enough, I think Nwaneri would have left if he wasn't an Arsenal fan. I think Nwaneri would have left already because of the lack of playing time that he's had. Like when Odegaard was out last year, perfect time to play him, and he wouldn't play him, would he? Arteta.
No, he wouldn't. Yeah.
He played him on the right when Saka, got injured and stuff, but he wouldn't play him in Odegaard's role.
No.
So yeah, it's just everyone's different, I suppose. I think if you want to leave, I think always just try and leave on good terms. There's been players over the years.
Yeah, 100%.
We had it with Van Persie, and I can understand like Liverpool as well being pissed off with Trent, because for 2 years we know what Real Madrid do, right? So for 2 years they were convincing him to go and play for them, and I know they got some money in the end, because they wanted him to play in the Club World Cup. But to me, there's like, from his point of view, he strung Liverpool along to the point where he had all the leverage, and then he turns up at the Real Madrid, press conference speaking fluent Spanish. But so it's not a move that has just happened, is it? Then he's been planning that for some time. So I think players, especially, I just think if you're an academy player, it is a different relationship that you have with the fans, and I think you should acknowledge that, because you will get protected more so than the players that haven't come through. Okay, every fan base does it. I'm sure you've done it, Dermot, over the years with Tottenham boys. You will give them excuse after excuse after excuse. You will stand by them year after year. And I think, I'm not saying that players have to stay at one club, but just be careful. If you do want to leave, go about it the right way.
Yeah.
Well said.
I totally agree. I mean, Harry Kane did it the right way, I think, in a little way that, if Harry Kane was to come back, we love him anyway. So he's a legend of our club. There's plenty of players that haven't done it the right way. But I think also we're from a generation where I think there wasn't so much money in the game. So younger players were playing for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Now it's all about money. It's about, even the youngsters get a lot of money. And it's about, I'll go to each club. Which club can pay me the more money? Now you're going to get, I think Saka's right. I think he does play for the love of playing for Arsenal. Yeah. You look at, we had Lucas Moura. He absolutely adores the club. Absolutely adores the club. So he was one. I think Harry Kane in his way was quite brutal in the way he left Spurs and the goodbye message. If you look at other players, who was the player that left and they did a video and it was more affectionate than Harry Kane's one?
Was it not Lucas Moura?
Yeah, I think it was Moura.
Yeah.
You could tell he was devastated he was leaving the club. He was absolutely devastated. But to me, there's too much money in the game now. The game isn't about you, me, or Brenny or Bobby or what supporting the club. It's all about rich people. The working class are not part of football anymore. It's not a working man's game anymore or a working person's game anymore. It's a game for the rich. It's a game for the individual that works in high big jobs. I mean, I bought my Brentford ticket, €58 to go and watch Brentford. It's going to cost me probably 200, 250 to get a plane over, then go to the match. I'm looking to spend about €500 on one day.
Yeah.
Where 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, how much would it cost you? A £5, £6 to get into the ground. A program was $250. A burger and a few pints. You're looking to spend about £50.
£6 was the cheapest I ever got in at Highbury.
Yeah.
And that was the stand. So, yeah. Wow. I mean, you say you're coming over for the
coming over for the Brentford game.
When's that?
The 6th of December.
Okay. Yeah, should be interesting. Well, let us know when you're in town.
I will do. Yeah, we'll definitely meet up. Brenny. Yeah, definitely will.
Yeah, let us know. And, because I know because if you're at home, we'll be playing away that day.
Yeah.
You know? But if it was an away fixture you're going to, Brentford's just down the road from me.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I would like to go to the Brentford ground, but yeah, it was very last minute. I got this ticket, like, and I said, "Feck it, I take it." Like, I'm either going to the Leeds game in May, one of our last home games. But this is my sort of, I'll go to one game a year where it's my Christmas and birthday present put into one.
of
So
course.
I take this one. I thought Brentford would be a good team to go and watch, actually. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
No, fair play, mate. Fair play. Well, I'll tell you what, we've been going for almost an hour and a half, and it's been educational, and I love that. And I'll tell you what, just before we wrap up, though, I'm going to ask you first. Right, we've already spoke about what we do on Saturday, regardless of our respective sides. But what's your score prediction for the game at Ellen Road, mate?
I'm going for a 3-1 Spurs win. I think we're going to beat them up there. I think we're going to Leeds. I think there's a stat going around. Leeds are where was it? I saw the stat earlier. Leeds sort of. I think it's where is it now? Oh, yeah, Leeds have every right. They've won 18 of the last 23 games on home soil, but I think we can go up there and do a job. Yeah, so I'm going for a 3-1 Spurs win.
Well, if I was a betting man, I would say 2-1 Spurs.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Luke? You reckon Spurs can get the 3 points up there?
I don't know. So Bodo scored 2 on you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, under Thomas Frank, like I thought you'd be set up quite well, like defensively. But obviously, you can't get much worse than how you were under Ange. Defensively.
I tell you what, Luke, I'll add a little stat into that. We haven't won a game before an international break, I think, for 10 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
So I throw that into the mix.
I think I'll go 2-2 then.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, indeed.
Oh.
And so Luke, us against the West Ham. Can we stop the hoodoo? What's your prediction?
Yeah, I think West Ham will score. They tend to at the Emirates, but I know they've new manager and everything, but I think we're not losing three years in a row at home to them lot. So I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
Okay. And you know what? I'm the same. I said 3-1 as well. Actually, no, tell lie. I said 3-0. I said 3-0. Get a clean sheet on Saturday, I feel. And what do you reckon? You think we'll get a home win?
I do. I think you're going to batter them 4-5-0. I do. West Ham are really bad at the moment. I think, look, Nuno may make them a bit more difficult to play against, but I think you've got too much firepower, and especially at home. So I think it's a 5. I hate saying it. God, I hate saying it. Arsenal winning. Jesus. Yeah, Arsenal win 5. Yeah. I'm going to make confessions tomorrow and say, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I spoke very nicely about Arsenal. 10 Hail Marys and 35 Our Fathers. Yeah. And 1 Rosary.
Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you.
Big up, geeks.
This has been a awesome stream. He'll be there. I know you'll be there next time, mate. Hope you're feeling better. You know what I mean? Good to have you on as always. But one thing as well, guys, I just wanted to ask. I was meant to ask a few minutes ago before we wrap this up. Even though we were talking about academy players, when was the last time you two ever recall? I'm talking world football now. A testimonial game. I haven't. I've been to a testimonial game before, but I can't recall the last testimonial at any club. Can you guys?
I can't.
No, I mean, I know it was kind of. I suppose it's more of an old-fashioned thing because obviously, as you were saying about players not making as much money, it used to be a fundraiser for that player, wasn't it? And
I mean, but wasn't it if a player was over 10 years at a club?
10 years.
Or 10 years?
They've definitely. We've not had one for a while, have we? I actually
No.
can't remember the last time there was one. Maybe they still do it at the lower league club, but I suppose that you wouldn't get 10 years at a lower league club. Though, would you?
Maybe. I mean, I'll have to Google that. I mean, because I think if you're talking top flight football, I wouldn't be surprised if the last person who I can think of in top flight football who's had a testimonial is probably Thomas Muller of Bayern Munich, because that's the only club he's ever played for.
Yeah.
And
Did he have
that guy
one?
was world class. I'm guessing he did. He probably had two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gerrard
But
probably had one.
be
Didn't
one. And maybe, and I know, and I'm sure he did as well. I know he retired years ago. Francesco Totti only played for Roma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's him as well. I'm sure Paul Scholes as well. He's only
Yeah.
ever
That
played.
generation all had.
I think
Yeah.
Roy Keane had one.
Roy Keane had one at United, did he?
Yeah, he had one. United played Celtic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he was signed in '93, wasn't he, Roy Keane? So he did play for United
Did
for over
Tony
10
Adams
years.
have one?
Yeah. Tony
Yes,
Adams.
he did.
Bergkamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. That generation all had.
one. Martin Keown had one. I went to Martin Keown's one with Damos in 2004, and the funniest sight I ever saw while the game was going on, Ian Wright was playing for us, and Paul Gascoigne was like, it was like a wrestler world team. Paul Gascoigne was playing, and and even with the referee laughing, the two of them just kept trying to pull down their shorts, each other's shorts. And it was just banter for that whole half. It was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen at a match.
Yeah.
And and then
I
it
think
would just
So Campbell had one, didn't he?
Who's that?
So Campbell had one. One man and his dog turned up.
I was going to say it worked for us because, you know what I mean, in two spells, he only spent, what, 5 years?
Yeah,
6
Yeah, the dog walked off at half time. He's seen enough. Like, he said, I'm going home. No, I think Gary Mabbott had one. Yeah,
Did Aaron Ramsey have one, Brenny, for Arsenal?
Aaron Ramsey. He signed for us 2008. I don't think he did. Or did he? No, I don't know. I mean, he may have done because he was at the club, what, 10 years?
I think it was 11 years in the end. I think he left
11 years.
after United's first season in 2019.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right. No, we weren't leaving at the time.
So, but yeah, definitely in the last sort of 10 years, I think Gerrard, he definitely had one. Carragher, all that generation had testimonials, but yeah, the sort of generation after that, they don't seem to have them for some reason.
Well, Geeks just put in a really good one here because I can't recall Ray Parlour ever getting one myself. I mean, he from the academy burst into the first team in 1992.
Yeah,
nightmare debut against Liverpool. I remember that he gave the penalty away, and then the rest is history. And then so then he went to Middlesbrough 2004. So he should have got one.
I'm surprised he didn't have one.
Yeah, always, but no, it's just something that I was thinking about because this is the thing where we don't really see this nowadays, and from years ago we used to see testimonials all the time.
Yeah,
all the time, but it's what it is. But listen, gentlemen, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a real pleasure, both of you, and hopefully next time we'll have for this chat. Luke, you're welcome anytime, and it's a shame. I know John Sinclair's busy, our Newcastle man, and Courtney was busy as well today, and he's our Chelsea guy. So, but they'll be on next time, I'm sure, just as Nick will be as well. But Luke, thank you for coming on here for the first time, mate. And you're welcome anytime. And where can you be found, mate?
Well, I don't have my own channel, and I can't remember what my social handles are. So you might find me in chats or online somehow. But if not, you might see me back on here.
No worries, mate. No worries. You're always welcome. And this man as well, he knows he's always welcome. Where can they find you, Dermot, you absolute legend?
Yeah, well, look, you can find me at THFC till I die. The only proper North London club in North London, not like these South London wannabes that
Here
want to
we
come
go,
into
here we
North
go, here we
London and and just a bit like they came in like Del Boy Trotter in the 3-wheeler van. North London was a lovely, prosperous part of London. Tottenham were there. Everyone, we had lovely shops. We had people sitting out having lunch near White Hart Lane. It was a lovely pair. And then one day, doomsday happened. Arsenal turned up, and everything. The shops went bust. Women were pregnant. It's all, I don't know. But anyway, if you can find me at THFC till I die, just we're on the march for 3K. If you can, be great. No, it's absolute pleasure, Luke. You've been absolutely fantastic, man. For your debut, you smashed it out the park. Absolutely. And Brenny as well. Absolute legends to pair of you. Thanks for having me on. And I enjoyed these, Brenny. It's a bit of fun. It's nice.
It
to
is.
Have a bit
It
of
is.
Fun.
I love this, and I think for me, I love talking history and nostalgia as well as the present. You know what I mean? And talk about the good old days. You know what I mean? So, but listen, gentlemen, I shall say good night and thank you for all those that's watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
See ya. Bye.
See you later.